intro it?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Boardcast.
Guess what?
This is episode 34.
All of that is staying in the intro.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So you were so keen on.
When I said the shitter the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Tom,
took
how
that.
did it feel to have the worst intro so far?
That might have under pressure. So
You took it literally.
That might have been somehow worse than John's intro, where
did
he
tell
just
you-
didn't give an intro.
that's genius.
Yeah.
I did say that it would be funnier, didn't I? So.
I suppose if you don't give one, you can't fuck it up.
All right, welcome on the podcast, Tom.
Hey,
Listen to that. New guest.
What's
new
going
feature.
on?
All right,
Yeah.
so Danny just came back from his surgery. He's not, he's had a big one.
I think before we get going, I think it's important to point out that this is not the Tom that I bully rampantly
No.
on
Cap,
the podcast.
yes,
There
it
are
is.
two
Oh,
Toms.
not on the podcast.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
in my-
in
to my
store.
face.
Yeah. You definitely get more
yeah.
bullying over as a metric. You definitely get more than other Tom. But on Tom, this is not Tom from the
Your
podcast
mate, Tom,
bullying.
gets verbally bullied.
Yeah.
This Tom here gets bullied at Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think I give him more shit, really.
I think that's what's important. Is like I want people to realize like the more that I bully you in store, the more that I like you. Like it's a preferential thing. If I didn't bully you at all, then I'd
So if Danny's
You're
really nice to
different.
you,
That's worse than being abused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's love. It's all love.
Yeah, for sure.
if
It comes
Danny's
from a person.
really nice to you, you have to suspect something now.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If he's not, something's up, dude.
Anyway, so
There's a
Danny's
plan.
come right back from a big surgery involving his mouth, his teeth. And then we have a nurse on. Tom, you're a registered nurse.
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
live
I'm
in.
not registered. I'm enrolled. There's a difference.
There's a difference?
There's technically a difference.
I'm just talking
the
shit.
better one, right?
No, God, no.
He's a
You're
doctor.
not the better one.
No.
You're the lesser nurse.
No, dude, I went to TAFE instead of uni.
Yeah.
What am I paying for?
Well, fuck knows. Honestly, the jobs are so similar. Like the only difference is, so
Is this where you start hating on the better nurses?
Yeah.
no,
What do you
I'm
diagnose
going
Danny
for it.
with?
I'm doing it. I'm going.
I feel like there's vitriol between the two different types of nurses.
No,
I've
not
seen it.
really. What?
I want fight. Tell them how they're wrong.
Smash on to No, so you can do either a TAFE course for 18 months and then you're an enrolled nurse.
18 months is just over a year.
Yeah.
It's a year and a half.
not very
I've
long.
seen some people that I know do the courses to become nurses, and it was scary how little they had to know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And like it's a good thing in a way because like they don't want you to fail.
The
Right.
said person wasn't sure what a liver was, and I was like, "Oh,
What?
You're going to be giving
That
medication?"
is one of the big ones. To know.
the big
Yeah, man,
ones.
that's- It's one of the big top 5 organs.
5 organs.
Wait, quick. What's your other top 5?
Number one,
organs?
brain.
Your brain. Number 1, yeah.
Number 2, heart.
Heart, yeah, cool, got
Number
it.
3, lungs.
Yep.
Number 4,
You got to put liver in one of those two.
He's forgot.
liver.
Yeah, liver. So you're giving 4 to liver.
Yeah, because I think you can live without like mostly digestional tract.
Ooh, that's a huge shout.
Sure. So you got one. You got
So
one
the-
organ left.
And the 5th would be like
If you want to say skin.
Oh, shut up! You fucked it up, man. Come on.
I didn't know
I
it was
wanted
gonna
him to forget it before he said it.
nah,
Fuck, I didn't know.
top 5, right? Like you need these. Oh, you don't need your kidneys. You can go on dialysis. Yeah, skin. Yeah, you got me.
I didn't know it was a
Come
bit.
on, man.
I didn't know it was a bit. All right, man. It's a fucking. I'm sorry.
I'm-
okay.
I
That's
knew
a
he'd forget skin.
That is a
Well, I
solid
didn't know.
list.
To be honest, I didn't know if you knew skin
I
was
was-
an organ. That's why I said it.
Nice reminder, guys.
So, as the nurse, Tom, what are some primary organs that didn't make it into the top 5 that we definitely couldn't live without?
I think I got the ones you need,
Couple other ones.
such as.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the,
Wait,
the number
Tom,
one thing.
Tom, on this diagram, where's the liver?
Oh, it's like there. Maybe. Stop it.
Yeah, that'd be right there. Anyway,
and this is what you get for lesser nurses.
Hey,
buddy.
man. Hey, I'm a mental health nurse.
that's the best part.
Okay. If you're not sad, I'm not involved.
He only cares
But
about
it's
that number
it.
1 spot.
Yeah.
Feelings.
Yeah. The brain, dude.
Yeah, the good news, we don't feel great. We don't feel great. You're a mental health nurse.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go see your GP. That's
Sick.
We need to get a referral to see Tom.
Diagnosis.
We have to get a referral to get him on the
Yeah.
podcast.
He sends you back. It's like when you call like the ATO and they send you between departments. Tom's like, go back to the doctor.
Dude,
So-
speaking of the ATO, did I tell you about? I think I told you. Do you know about my whole fucking tax thing at this point?
No.
Dude, so I lodged my tax return through a company. I'm not going to say which
Did
one.
you do one of those ones where you like get it in the shopping center?
No.
It's a real business.
Yeah, it was
Tom's,
recommended
Tom's
to
a
me.
big boy adult now. You have a big boy job now.
I just fucking dude, it's crazy, dude. So I went to this tax accountant, did it. This was like mid to late August. Still haven't got my tax back. Called twice to the ATO, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, right?
And the company hasn't contacted you at all?
I contacted the company and I was like, hey, you sure you lodged this? Because it's saying it's still available on my tax account, whatever it's called, MyGov.
MyGov, yeah.
So it's saying it's still available on there. And then I haven't got the money back. So he was like, yeah, no, it's lodged here. Here's the proof. Here's the paperwork saying I sent it off. I was like, okay, cool. Call ATO.
And your last name starts with a B, so you should be pretty close to first off the rank.
Dude, I should be
It
up
goes
there.
alphabetical down. So.
Does it actually?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I feel gypped. Anyway, call the ATO twice. First time, they're like, it's a automated voice system. So I was like, hey, they asked me for all my details. I put the details in, and then it goes to this automated voice message that's like, there's manual input required for your tax return. If we need to contact you, we will. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
So it has to see a person effectively, yeah.
Right. Still haven't heard anything. Finally got a call today. They're like, yeah, it'll be another 2 weeks. I was like, great, cool. It's better than nothing. I'm kind of glad. But it
You know
was
what's
for
better?
a good
You know what's
reason.
better than nothing? I have to pay the government another $800. I got my tax return. I was so keen. I was rubbing my hands like, oh man, gonna get some money back.
You
from
have to pay the
ATO.
government $800 tax? Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. But additional, right?
I'm paying
You know, it's
weekly.
like tax return season. It's like, let's just do it and get it over done. But now it's like lingering over me. So,
Well, as a small businessman, I usually get my tax back at June next year. So.
oh, sick. Yeah.
Wait, what? How's
Yeah,
that work?
it's like it knocks out all of like regular people with regular jobs, and then it starts to work on people with like more complicated setups. So if you've got like, I don't know, you might have like a hex debt or something like that, that might do it. Or if you've got like a complicated setup with like a superannuation fund maybe, or self-managed fund, it'll do those, and then it does business. So it's like if you're a sole trader, there'll be later. It's anyone with a business like allocated in theirs. Mine goes through a trust, so it'll be there.
Oh, that sounds like so many loopholes to jump
Very
through.
annoying. I also have a tax story. So this Friday before, this Friday just
Friday
gone.
before.
Just before? I don't know how far are we gone. I missed last week, so it's 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
So I was driving home, and I'm sitting in the just traffic leaving from where I parked my truck for the day. I look over to the car next to me. I was like, oh, guy's car's smoking. It's unfortunate. And then that man drives away, and the smoke remains. Yeah, it was my car. It was on smoke.
Oh, no.
So anyone who's been to the boards in a while has seen my my white Audi sitting in the front there. It's gonna be sitting there for a little bit because that bitch lit on fire. So
like
actual fire,
combusted?
fire in the engine bay. Yeah, my
There's a part of me that wish I was there to see it.
it wasn't very exciting.
absolutely.
It was like small enough that I could put it out with a shirt.
Yeah.
but it was.
But it's like, I like to imagine it's like GTA. When your car catches on fire, you need to get out. That bitch is going to
Hey,
explode.
it's going to go. You got to run, dude.
to me, it felt like, I don't know if you've ever. This is a very obscure reference, but have you guys ever seen the IT Crowd?
Yes.
And there's a bit where Moss. He's trying to put a fire out with a fire hydrant, and then the next clip is just the fire hydrant is also on fire. So he puts that fire hydrant in with the rest of the fire and just kind of walks away. That's what I felt like because it was more like a reference to my life.
Wow.
Anyway, so that happens. So I park the car up, and I kind of just like turned it on and off until I got it here to the club. So that's why it's parked here, because it would get pissing engine oil, but at least if it wasn't too much, it wasn't going to light on fire again. So we did that. They left there. And then as I'm dealing with that, the ATO calls me and they're like, hey, we've got a bunch of questions for you. I'm not even going to ID you yet. Just answer these questions and then we can ID you like once we've answered the questions. So I'm like, sure.
That feels backwards.
It feels serious. Well, it's because of the situation was super serial.
Yeah.
So
What? Okay.
she's like,
They got to fact check before they can say anything.
Yeah,
But also if someone's asking you a bunch of your own personal details, you're like, yeah.
We should do a security check.
normally when they're dealing, because I deal with the ATO a lot because I'm running multiple businesses here, and they do normally have to do the ID check first. It's the most important thing by far. But this other thing took precedent this time, which makes it kind of like show how serious it was, right?
Okay, sure.
Anyway, it's like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you claim this? Did you have this bank account? Did you change your contact details? It's like, no. I did none of those things. So someone has hacked, I guess, the government from their side. It's not from my side. It's from the government side. Has hacked from their side. And I guess they've done it to a suite of other people, including myself, which is very lucky of me. But they've removed all my contact details, so my phone number, my email, so any way for the government to contact me from my ATO profile, right? Everybody has a profile with them, which includes your
They
like,
just completely hijacked it.
hijacked the fuck out of it.
Jesus.
So this includes like your ABN, which is your business number that you reference, like your tax file number, which like a business has a tax file number, just like a person does, all that kind of stuff. And it's that my profile, so that when I do anything like I lodge superannuations or pay people's wages, claim tax back, I show them how much tax I'm paying for the year, all that kind of stuff. They've done all that. They've removed all of my contact details. They've blocked my accountant off, who's the only other person who should be able to like access it. Then they've tried to like slowly claim giant chunks of money from the government, up to $260,000 from the government as rebates into like a foreign bank account.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's like, that's the reason she was like, she's like, did you do this, and this? And I was like, no. So it's like, she just locks my entire account down. So it's locked. So they're gonna have to do like an investigation, like to make sure it's not me frauding them, and then they'll have to make sure it's not the accountant frauding them, and then they can go on to make sure that it's like not.
If this happens to
I
you,
feel so bad.
Yeah.
Whinging about
hectic.
my bullshit story. Right? I'm like, man, it's taken like so long. And you're like, hey, man, I almost lost all my tax.
Yeah. But also,
Jesus.
it was the government itself that got hacked.
Yeah, so I
this
can't
is-
do anything.
This is big boy. This is big boy hour.
Yeah, it is.
So
So
big boy hour, like, is this happening to anyone else? Are other people just getting their fucking bank accounts just like?
It would actually, it would, right? So it doesn't affect my like the business bank account, but it affects all of my ATO profile. So if I can't, we're lucky that they started on the 1st of October. So we're working quarterly segments. So the 1st of October means we're in this last quarter of the year. So I've got until Christmas effectively to figure it out. But that'll come up quickly. We're 20 days through the first of this one already, right?
Yeah.
And I have to make sure that so that I can lodge my like BAS statement, which is, when you pay when you receive your pay for the week, right? They take you, the tax money comes out of it. That's called PayYG, and that's organized by a certain department of the government. They track that, and then the people that track like GST, and the people that track super, and the people that track security, like the investment in securities. They're all different departments. The PayYG ones caught it, and they're the ones who locked it down.
They're what? Caught it.
Like they caught the hack.
Oh, caught it. Okay,
But
sorry.
nobody else did. So it's my job now to go inform the rest of the government departments that I've been hacked. There's no way for them to do that. So I have to go ahead and then communicate that via long phone calls and explain myself, the situation to them
What
to do
hell?
that.
That
Yes.
That's bureaucratic hell.
infuriating.
And so this is all a couple of days before going to my mouth surgery, which I then couldn't talk for a week after. So I haven't that problem I actually haven't even started. So that's to
Daddy.
fix.
So I guess this is going to be the big topic of the episode. Is you've just come back from surgery.
Yeah.
Well, in the previous episode, you mentioned that you've had to have your wisdom teeth removed,
Yes.
plus an external one. So you're 5 teeth down.
I'm 5 teeth down.
Yeah.
So
but also you're sounding not too shabby.
Your
for
joke,
a weekend.
good, man.
your joke last. Yeah, I took some extra drugs tonight before coming on here.
Nice.
It's gonna hurt in the morning. All this like laughing and talking.
Nurse approved drugs. It's fine.
Nurse, diagnosis.
Sick.
Sick. Yeah. Danny is currently sick.
Yeah.
You had a good
not
joke
well.
last week. I liked it. It was that I'd be a poor orc. I thought that was very funny. I guess nobody else really understood it.
Yeah,
but
and I was in that teeth is currency.
I had a very good little joke about it. Matt was good last week, eh? It's good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. I listened to it.
Do you feel
jealous.
So knowledgeable.
I'm real jealous of people that speak real clear, real nice in a microphone. Because I'm like always self-conscious with like, oh, you sound like a dumbass.
Well, I made the joke earlier. This is my Through the Wire episode. So if anybody,
Nice.
if anybody
dude, I
understands
lost
the
it at that.
reference,
But wait, no,
That was
but
such
don't.
good.
If you get the reference, let us know.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yeah, put it in the comments, right?
the true believers.
That's you got to plug it, right? Put it in the comments. Yeah,
Comment section,
I get it.
Spotify,
I know,
YouTube.
I know what's up, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, I went in and I was expecting to have a 40-minute surgery to remove 3 to 4 teeth.
Already sucks.
Already sucks. It's a big deal.
But also, that surgery is supposed to be like normally it's for like when you're young.
Yes, you should really be getting it between the ages of 13 and 21.
And you're
My parents were Pablo. That's so.
not what I was talking about. I'm on at your age, to be honest.
And I am.
Yeah, but when you're poor, everything is like it takes longer.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
somewhere
no,
between the age of 25 and 38.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it's somewhere in there. And
Cool.
well, I actually turned 30 in the year of COVID, so I'm 33, right? And because it was like the first to like 2020 or 2021 when COVID was, I turned 30. I was like, fuck it, I'm good at 30. So I've just been 30 ever since then, I think.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have the knees of a 30-year-old, but it's okay.
Yeah. So your
Your
surgery
Honor,
was.
I'm still 20, I swear.
Okay, that's-
Yeah, we had a bit of fun earlier when Sarissa was trying to guess how old you were. And it was okay with me because like you're both Asian. So I was like, nobody can be racist there, I guess. I don't know how that works. But I was like, I could put my hands up and walk away from the absolution of getting myself in trouble.
She got real close though. She gets banked like 24. That's real close.
Yeah.
Most people, I've had people say like that I look like 21. I'm like, what?
You do look incredibly young.
Do I?
Yeah. I often forget how old you actually are.
You cross the threshold of when you cross that mid-20s, like 25, being referred to being young, it suddenly becomes a compliment again. You're
absolutely.
like, sick, cool.
100%.
Good to know.
I didn't get asked for ID buying beer, sorry, Graham, until I was 18. I was buying beer for like 3 or 4 years before that. And then, then super helpful until you realize you're like, oh, I'm 15. These people think I'm like a 20-year-old man.
Did you have a beard?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, this was probably before.
I started to shave in year 7. My mum gave me a razor and was like, "Here, you got to learn how to use this." So that was
no
the
guy,
Do you
nothing.
know
Just
what
gave it
the
to you.
best thing is? My dad did that. He was like, hey, you need to shave. Here you go. I was like,
my dad could have done that. He just chose not to, I guess.
yeah, great.
Sick.
Cool. Sick. Thanks, parents. Very good.
Anyway, the surgery, right?
Oh, yes. So we went in and I didn't realize that my ex had changed off my medical
Like a private
insurance.
health?
Yeah.
Okay.
to give Lucas glasses. So I went in thinking I had private health cover, but didn't on
Lucas needs glasses?
on the surgery. Yeah, he's supposed to wear them. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, we changed my entire insurance apparently sometime in the past to buy him glasses that he's worn once.
I swear there's more kids wearing glasses
cool.
nowadays.
Sick.
It's definitely the screens, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You what?
Yeah. More kids nowadays wear glasses.
Well, his mum doesn't have
right?
very good eyesight either, so I think it's just a little genetic stuff. But he
That's weird because my parents both wear glasses. I'm 20/20 vision.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but often if you do get poor vision,
I'm sure it
it's from your
contributes to
parents.
it. Yeah.
No one of my families wear glasses except me.
Except you.
That's the opposite.
Gypped.
I got fucked.
Yes, I went in thinking I had private health cover, who didn't. So that cost me, $6,000 more than I thought it was going
fuck.
to. Yeah.
God.
So the surgery night, what happened?
They're taking stuff away. Why are you gonna? They should be paying you.
But they know about it. Like you only knew about it like right before it was going to happen.
So yes, yeah, basically. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I 4 days beforehand, I thought I was covered.
So they could have
Damn.
none of that. They was checking, being like, you're good. No, you're not good.
I do the whole total thing will be about 12-ish grand, but I do have major dental on it, so I should get a couple grand back from the dental part of it side. But I went in there. I was actually supposed to stay that night because they were worried about me. I apparently have got a blood thinning disease. It's called a Leiden factor 5. I don't know if that means anything to you.
It's not a mental health thing.
Yeah. But it means my blood's a bit thinner than it's supposed to be. So when they they removed the top of my mouth off and laid it on my tongue.
Wait.
So they could do surgery.
Wait. Hold on. Reverse.
That needs
They
investigation.
removed the top half of your mouth.
Bro said,
all the flesh off the top of the mouth. Sorry to anybody who's a little queasy.
Yeah. If you're driving right now and you're queasy, just keep going.
Sorry, mate.
But
Yeah, so
describe it.
to get to the a lot of people have met me, right?
This is a full-on surgery. This is a real surgery.
Yeah,
This is a full thing.
Full
Yeah,
anesthesia. They've knocked me out. I'm yet to determine whether they've dislocated my jaw intentionally or it's just been clamped open for so long. Because the most pain is actually coming from my ears, where they've pried it open for such a long period of time. I can't open my jaw. More than I can just fit my pinky finger in, but no more. And if I try to open it anymore, the pain cuts through the medication that I'm taking, and it's just like sharp, like someone's stabbing me in the ears with a knife. It's pretty rough. Yeah. So
Dude.
This is where you come in, Tom. You're the mental health nurse.
yeah, save me from the depression. So the goal was to take out all of my wisdom teeth. And then a fifth tooth that's up in my upper jaw. So the reason I have a few baby teeth because the adult teeth are up inside the jaw, and they didn't push because they're supposed to face down and push out the baby teeth. That's how adult teeth work, right?
Sure.
And that's why they poke through.
Yeah.
That they didn't do that because they're facing the wrong direction. So they're just like sitting in there parallel instead of not parallel.
Parallel is correct.
Parallel's right.
Yeah, they're sitting there parallel.
Perpendicular?
Perpendicular is when it's like opposite. It was when it's like you have a flat plane and someone's coming up straight out of it.
The teeth are supposed to come down this, and the teeth, the
Yes,
wrong
teeth
tooth
are
is on
supposed
top
to be
like this, like a hat.
perpendicular to the gums.
Oh,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
parallel to
Yeah,
the
Yeah, no,
parallel.
no,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's
I tried.
gums. What you worked at TAFE for 18 months, all right?
Hey,
You know what? Geometry wasn't part of that course.
Yeah.
Sure
There's another
wasn't,
time to
dude.
cover geometry in there.
Dude, I dropped out in year 9. I don't know shit, dude. Pythagoras theorem. What?
So those teeth are supposed to push out, but it didn't. It just stayed up there. But it's as I get older, again, it's something that I should have had it done as a kid. They should have taken that out when the bone is softer and it could have healed better. Yada yada yada. Right.
Yeah.
As an adult, if I get the infection in there, you can't have emergency surgery to really fix that because it's like like if they cut into it, then the infection or the poison will like spread too far from there. So the emergency surgery, if that's much harder to deal with. So I theoretically have to remove this 5th tooth just to remove the chance of it getting infected. They need to clear that space out. So the idea is they take they saw into the top of my gum. They remove all the flesh from the top of the mouth.
Metal
that
as fuck.
sits on the tongue. Then they saw into the jawbone and like get into it from the inside. I got a bit unlucky. Like it could have been accessed from the outside, so they just do the lip. But this had to be done from the inside, which makes it harder, right? So I think that's why they've either clamped or dislocated my jaw. I'm supposed to get a call back from the doctor, but he just doesn't call me. So I guess I'll hear back
Wait,
from
this is
that.
the best part. They're supposed to call you back when you're not quite able to communicate.
Can't
Yeah.
talk.
Well, it's I still want to know what they've done
I
effectively.
feel like this
Yeah.
could be an email.
So you wake
True,
up
yeah.
several hours later than you
I
expected.
was expecting to be it's for it to be 40 minutes, but apparently it took about an hour and a half, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to be out of the hospital by 4 o'clock.
Gone.
Gone home.
Right.
I woke up at like 9.
Yeah.
And it's we're in day surgery, so there's 2 day nurses left looking after me, and they're all mad because they wanted to go the fuck home.
Stood at the end of the bed, arms crossed.
Yeah,
He's
like,
giving you evils.
The entire wing that I'm in is completely empty. Like there's no one else in there because everybody's, I guess, thing went perfectly fine. And they wanted me to stay in overnight and move me, but I had to pay for the time that I was in there. And it already cost me $2,300 for the day surgery, and it would cost me that 2 times because it would go into a night shift, then a day shift the next day. And I was like,
sick.
"Well, I can't do that."
Well, yeah.
So we need to wrap
couldn't
this
have
up.
said no, right?
Dude, that's
Yeah.
like labor costs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
They couldn't have resuscitated you halfway through, like you signed the terms and conditions.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, my credit card can't take that. So we wrapped that up and we went home. It was pretty dismal. I was in like a fair amount of pain. I was pretty hopped up on drugs. And as we were walking out of the door, my auntie actually came because she finished work at 4, thinking she was going to come like pick me up. Poor lady had to sit there until like fucking whatever time, 9 o'clock at night. And as we were walking out the door, it just started pouring with rain.
Oh no.
I'm just standing in the car park like in a Guernsey with like blood dripping down my face and shit. And rain.
That was-
it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. And so
It was the start of like a real depressing, like Midwestern emo song.
I'm sitting in the rain with my teeth missing. You know what? Yeah,
the classic 2000s emo banger.
Yeah.
So that might be why I've been absent from the club for a week there. So if anyone's wondered why. That's why I missed last week's podcast. Sorry to our avid listeners who like to hear me mumble. So
I'll tell you what though.
yeah.
That makes for a great podcast story.
Well, I have an important factor because earlier on you said it makes your story feel invalid. Because I've been Ubering around the last couple, since then to be able to get places. First few days was just like a full on it's like the drugs that I'm taking are like a hectic version of morphine, right? And that's like I just sweated and slept for the first like 3 or 4 days out of it.
You mentioned that before. You didn't have a seizure, did you?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Shaking and shit. Okay.
I just a bit of fun, just casual seizures. Do it as you go. But
It's good working out when you're sleeping.
I need to go back and work, so I've had to forego some of the better drugs to just take like liquid Panadol so that I can drive because I'm definitely not allowed to drive on the
Extra cool
on the
stuff.
extra cool stuff. Yeah. So anyway, the last couple of days I've been on the trucks and but I've been Ubering to and from work because my car doesn't work. Connor to the rescue. He's lent me his car, extra car that he's got. So I've just been driving his car for the last couple of days. But anyway, before that I was
Shout out, Connor.
Ubering to the truck and a guy picked me up and it was like a friendly guy, but he'd had mouth cancer and they'd removed most of his face and had to rebuild.
It could always be worse, right?
It could be always worse. And we're having a good laugh. He was talking about how because in my mouth at the moment they've put in a cow bone, so they take like bones from a cow and they shave it into the right shape and they replace all the missing bone. Like it's almost like a fixture or
Like a
plate,
graft, but bone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It fills in all the gap that is missing. So I guess they prepare that cow bone to the size that they're going to grind the jaw down to, and then that slots in.
Sure.
So he was joking about how, if I start mooing, my mates can't complain because I'm half cow now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me how, because like with the mouth cancer, they've rebuilt his mouth from the skin from his leg, from his thigh.
Damn.
And so they put the skin up in there, and then for the first few weeks, the hair would grow out of the top of his mouth into his mouth.
Imagine how that felt.
And he would pluck it out, right? And he went back to the doctors the next time he was there, like the surgeon. He was like, "Yeah, I don't really like the hairy mouth." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, mate. The chemo is going to clear all that out for you."
Oh no!
So we're having a little
this little doctor humor right there.
Yeah, he's telling like this guy's telling me this is a joke, and in my mind I'm like, look, shit could be way worse.
Yeah.
I could have hairy mouth.
Whoa, hold on! Don't give the universe ideas.
No shit. Yeah.
I think the thing is like it's all like personal perspective, right? Of like it all sounds a bit depressing, but at the end of the day, like everybody will be fine at the end of it. And it's like I don't know. There's people have. It's everything is dramatic until you talk to someone else and you're like, I'm doing all right.
All happened in 1 week.
Yeah, the 1 week thing is pretty rough.
Little mental health tidbit, right?
Yes, sir.
Just because someone's got it worse doesn't invalidate your own problems.
Yeah, but sometimes it makes me feel like my problems are less. So I get what you're saying.
Just because they're less doesn't mean they're not problems. You know?
Definitely problems. The tax thing is like a pretty big problem.
That's a nightmare. You had teeth removed. Someone dislocated your jaw. Dude, you've had a week, dude.
It's like the word, the fun for me, the absolute worst thing in all of this. Right?
Couldn't play high enough.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I'm missing the start of the 20th anniversary of WoW, so I'm pretty mad about that. But awesome. I tried to play when I was like introduced in the like heroin drugs that they've given me, and I was actually chatting to Graham on the thing while playing, and he was like talking. I'd probably reply like 15 minutes later, but I thought it was like 2 minutes later.
It looks like a coherent sentence in your head.
Just
and then you read it back, and it's like just gibberish. It's like a smashing keyboard.
But
I want Graham to show the logs.
Yeah,
if you have screenshots, put it in the chat.
But the day before the surgery, I was in my truck, and I had my truck for it's like 15, 16 years old now. Or maybe probably actually no, a bit older, maybe 20 years old. And there's a little plastic like component that slots out from the center console, and that's where your cups go into. Mm-hmm. It's just like a cup holder, right? But it slots out from the side. Okay. I guess over the decades of it like operating, it shakes up and down as I go over like speed bumps and stuff like that, and it snapped off. It's real sad. So
did you get clipped in the wing mirror a few weeks ago as well?
That was a fucking $7,000 problem by the end of it. But
so Tom, diagnosis, mental health nurse, diagnosis,
still sick.
But I was real sad.
Unlucky as fuck.
I was real sad about my of all the problems. Like I was real sad about my cup holder because I was like, bitch can't even let me have coffee. Because these like truck cabs don't have the same level like shock absorbers as a car, right? So everything just moves around a lot. Yeah. So if I'm driving and holding my coffee, the coffee just comes out everywhere.
Oh no.
You buy like you get a Pepsi Max or something and like give it like 10 minutes and it's completely flat because it's shaking around too much. So I was like, just let me have my cup holder, man.
So I'm gonna. So me and you, Tom, we'll pitch in. We'll get one of those clippable cup holders.
We can do it, dude.
Clips with your AC.
At this point, I have to hope that karma isn't a real thing, because if it does, it means like I was like in my previous life, I was just like Hitler, but with kittens or something. You know what I mean? Like
Hitler with kittens.
Yeah.
You have a voodoo witch, just like you just pissed off someone.
Yeah. What did I do? Yeah.
The other way it could swing is this could all be your bad karma, and you're about to get served some hell cool stuff.
You should buy a lottery ticket,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What if that's what it is?
No, I went to a building site the other day, and the guy had won the lottery, and I was like, could have been me.
Motherfucker.
He didn't look very happy either.
Now, I was
like, fuck that guy.
And your money, like, I hope he gets mouth cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, do you know what? I as a person, I genuinely never want bad on anyone else. Like,
you're a way better person than me.
People.
I can't comment.
All right, mental health nurse.
People piss me off a lot, but it's like as a general rule, like I genuinely never want anything bad to happen to someone else. Even when someone who's done critically horrific things to me.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? I think there's a
see, I get cut off in traffic and I think about murdering that person's family.
which is completely normal.
Yeah.
That's a completely normal
a
thing.
saying that I like, or like a kind of like a thing. It's like when you walk around life, if it's like every little problem you have is like a weight, like a 10-pound weight, right? And you every little problem you pick it up. And then if you go to the next thing and you hold on to that problem, then the next time you have a problem, then you pick up another 10-pound weight.
You get strong as hell. Just carry all that weight, bro.
Bro,
You get swole as fuck.
strong.
I think the idea is that like the end of the week, if you keep carrying all of your 10-pound bells and you never put any of it down, then now you're carrying around 200 kilos with you every single day. Like that's not a feasible way to like navigate your way around
It's
life.
like it's the classic straight man, like Sisyphus pushing the board up the hill. Just get stronger, bro. Just keep pushing it.
Yeah, but that's
just keep putting all your emotions in a box.
That was literally a punishment. That's his whole
just
deal.
keep putting all your emotions in a box. Keep it away until eventually it becomes a cancer,
Until
and then you have a stroke at like 45.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, my outlook is necessarily positive because it can't.
nice.
I'm dealing with a lot right now, right?
I know.
So we need to just. It's
Reminds
got to
me
be
of one of
good.
them. No, it
on
reminds me of one of them,
positives though, you're like actually in like quite speaking. Like you're actually speaking quite well.
I
now.
took some extra drugs before we started tonight.
Okay.
So
See, the memory effects are clearly showing because you already said that.
Yeah,
Nice, dude. Yeah.
oh my god.
That reminds me of like those memes where it's like something like a middle-aged woman would post, and it's like God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. That's what it reminds me
Daddy
of.
right now is just like fighting
Daddy's
off
like
hordes
I'm
of
a
enemies.
Spartan, dude.
Yeah.
just me on like a 40-year-old plus meme page, just getting all the quotes in that I need to get through the day.
You get a bunch
man.
of likes from people, just like thumbs ups.
Live, laugh, teeth, or something like.
So let's say you do get your phone call back from your doctor.
Yes, sir.
Like, what do you want to hear?
That the next time I definitely have to go in won't be as bad.
Okay.
Wait,
Wait, you gotta go back in?
I got to go back in yeah.
Again for
I got
surgery?
one more major surgery and then I'm
Oh
done.
no, shit.
But do you have to have like minor surgeries on follow up?
I believe it'll be pretty much done. One more major and I'm done. Unless there's some critical error.
What do they got? They already took 4 teeth. What else can they take?
They've got
True.
this all has to heal, and then they can fix what they'll go back into just the 5th tooth with the jawbone thing, and they'll make sure that's all fixed up and clear. But they do have to open it up to make sure that that it's set.
I should go to the dentist. I should get checked.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you, Tom? Have you got wisdom teeth?
If you change your insurance, which as even at your age, Kang, you should probably have now, it takes a year. They want it for major dental, like for major dental,
Like recovery?
no, for them to accept the insurance claim. So do it. Just at least do the insurance now, and that way, if you have to get anything done, because it's like this whole process is like I need to see like a very specific specialist. It's like a 6 months wait, and then.
Gross.
So this process has been going for about 4 years.
So you're not
to
covered
lead up
at
to
all?
this.
4 years.
The dental I am, yeah, but I've never had to go into physical surgery where they knock me out. So I haven't. I
The
didn't
surgery,
realize.
you're not covered.
Yeah, I could have. The worst bit is this process has been so long. I could have done it ages ago and paid the insurance and got the cover, but I just didn't have it.
Right.
So
Do you have your wisdom teeth, Tom?
I got my wisdom teeth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all sitting there?
Yeah. Every time I go in, they're like, "We need to do X-rays and check your wisdom teeth," and I'm like, "Okay,
How often do you check your teeth?
6 monthly."
Oh, I haven't checked my teeth since I was in 10 years ago.
That is concerning.
I believe I'm correct, but I think you have perfect teeth.
Do you reckon?
I think you have the teeth of the. I think we've discussed was like I believe your face is the teeth of how they're supposed to be.
I just got plenty of space up there, buddy.
Yeah.
Plenty of old space. Big
Big old-
mouth, big
big
teeth.
jaw.
Big jaw.
Because like it's
I
the
can
whole
eat
thing of like
so much pie.
Oh, dude, I'm jealous, man. No, I had a lot. Well, not a lot, but I had like the treatment as a teenager and stuff. So my top jaw was too narrow. Yeah. So I had to have one of them expanded things. where they-
Whoa. You're the opposite of braces.
Dude, I had the opposite of braces. So I had to attach this metal mechanism frame thing to like my top back teeth.
and just push them out.
Then I had to get this little tool because there was a mechanism in the middle of it and it would rotate
my
and that
God.
would expand my jaw.
What did that feel like?
Agony.
Gotcha.
Dude, agony.
Gotcha.
It
How
was
old were you?
Imagine
would've been
how his boyfriend felt.
13. That's what
The boyfriend was so keen.
Help me,
No,
dude.
it's like a razor blades in there.
No, yeah, it sucked. So I was like in class when I went to school at 13 with this just like drooling because I couldn't put my tongue on the roof of my mouth to be able to like swallow or anything. Dude, it was a nightmare. And then every morning I had to do it and it was like I think it was, from memory, it was 0.06 of a mil is how much it stretched the actual jawbone.
day?
Oh my
Every
God.
day.
That's a
For like,
significant amount, right? Like you
and
feel
maybe
that.
maybe it was every day, maybe it was every 3 days.
Right.
But point is I knew about it. It sucked. I think it lasted like 6 months, 8 months, something like that. And then I got it out, had a plate, lost that after 2 weeks because dog ate
You're a
it.
kid, yeah.
Sure.
No, dog ate it. It wasn't me. Well, 6-1.
Is the dog okay? The dog gets perfect dental.
Dog's teeth.
Did you see the
Fuck
dog
perfect.
wearing it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
So did it stick? Have you got a non-narrow mouth now?
Yeah. All my wisdom teeth are fine, right? Like they sit in my mouth very
Did
comfortably.
that
I have
affect
no
your
pain.
music career?
In what regard?
I don't know.
Not
Not
as far as I know.
Just all of his raps are about
Yeah.
chunky teeth.
Yeah, bro.
I'm his muse.
Look like burnt picket fences, dude. That's
little known fact about Tom, as in everyone that we know of knows about it.
Yeah.
You also had a music career.
career's a long shot.
Gotcha. You
I-
have a Spotify page.
I have a Spotify page.
Yeah.
Spotify, not hard to get a page for, by the way. You go to like
Yeah, we're on there.
this. Hey,
Whoa,
There you
we
go,
had to
bro.
go through a big, long process of ticking 2 ticks and pressing accept.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, yeah. So I started. Well, I mean, rapping's very. I don't want to be that white
Yeah.
SoundCloud rapper,
Nah,
but that's
like,
what it was.
You were
for a long time.
you went through the 2000s. Everyone wanted to have hip hop rap career.
Dude, I watched 8 Mile. That was my inspiration. I was
Nice.
like, if some
Yeah.
guy from
Detroit.
the bottom of the bottom, right, that gets bullied, picked on, his mom's a fucking nutcase, whatever. No doubt.
Where's a mouth expander?
Was Eminem known for his dentistry work. Anyway, yeah, it was like, if he can do it, why can't I? So then I started doing it, and then kind of just did it as a like therapy thing for a few years in my teen years when I was like not doing too crash hot.
I get it.
As most of those teens are. Like some people turn to
You have
metal.
that raging hormone that gives you that like angstiness to be able to create art.
Yeah, right? Literally. And then kind of when I moved back to Perth when I was 16, linked up with an old high school mate and he was like, hey, I got a like booth that I've made. You should come around and like kind of throw down some rhymes or whatever. So I did. He was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. What the hell? And then we collaborated for the next 6 or 7 years. Yeah, I put out an EP when I was like 15.
But the stuff is actually
That's
good.
on Bandcamp.
Like-
I had like physically printed CDs and stuff. Got ripped off. That don't work. Spent like $130.
They don't work?
Yeah, bro. No, nothing. Some guy in America got sued for it.
Oh, really?
He did it to a bunch of other people as well. But we're in Australia. We don't sue people. So I wasn't involved in that process. But yeah, so.
You have real production, like real like lyrics going in as well. Like the music's actually good.
No,
So when's the
appreciate
50 Cent feature?
it. I mean, I don't really do it anymore. Be cool if, I mean, that was the whole like goal, right? Like, I don't know if you've
So
heard
when
of-
did you like start to phase out from it? How old are you when you stopped doing the music? Were you just like more things got in the way, like life got in the way?
I'm 27. I qualified as a nurse in 2022. I was doing it kind of pseudo through COVID.
Gotcha.
But when I kind of finished my nursing studies and started working full time, it just kind of
Yeah.
I mean, like when
You
it sounds
wanted to
really
get like
stupid.
a real big boy like adult job.
Not even that. I just didn't. I kind of said what I wanted to say in like the last 15 years. Right? There's only so much I have to say,
I think
and there's only so many people want to listen to, which is
very
fine. I
respectable.
don't care. I did it a lot for me, and when I'd finished saying what I wanted to say, I kind of just went, I'm not as interested as I used to be, and that's totally fine.
I think as your life gets, especially as you get older, and we see this in like famous artists now or not famous artists, it's the same way. As your life, you get older and you sort your life out, there's less of that struggle and things that go into the art that make it like relatable. Like you know, you're like a nurse and you've got a good job and you're sorting your life out and you're doing your like regular hobbies. Like there's less to draw from there to then communicate with the people. You know
It's not a struggle most can relate to,
Yeah.
right? Like, hey, I'm financially stable. Like, this is, it's not something someone's going to go, man, I feel that, dude.
We talked about this, like Kang myself, about like artists that we like, and I think it was Andre 3000, who's I'm a big fan of. He said like because people get him up to like make new albums all the time. You know, it's from Outkast. It's like a big, like a big artist, and he's like publicly said he's like, you know, when I'm with my family and I'm doing well, there's not as much for me to communicate out. And like, you know, his latest piece of music that he released was like a flute like special essentially.
It was
right?
him himself giving him some challenges, right?
Yeah.
Rather than life giving challenges.
Yeah, it's like a flute.
Have
like
you
a-
checked it out?
What?
It's actually
It's
really
worth
it's
checking
really
no,
good.
but I will. No,
I love
Andre,
it.
Andre 3K? That's, dude, yeah, he's up there.
but it's like a flute, like musical, like almost like set piece, right? And it's just something different. But I do believe that it's like sometimes you get like rappers that I like that have continued to make music, and you're like, oh, they've got nothing to say. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to make hits, but it's like when you think about their first few albums, where they're really like talking to you, especially as like when you're younger as well. Yeah, some of the stuff is like now it's just like, yeah, bitches, and you're like,
it's like making music for a message versus making music for music's sake.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And one artist springs to mind. Like, grew up on Eminem, right? Loved him.
Correct.
Pulled me through my teen years.
Good, solid first 5 albums, unbeatable, right?
Guy needs to now chill.
Yeah.
He's a bit like he's 50.
It's because he's also a grandpa now. He's like
yeah,
He's a grandpa and he's a billionaire.
He can't
Like,
keep rapping
it's
about Haley anymore.
Like, once
Haley's married.
and he can't keep rapping about the fact that everyone hates him because
Yeah.
no one does. Because
Yeah.
it's very proven that he's enjoyed
he's
and
like,
liked.
you're loved and you're a billionaire. It's really hard to like create something that that I can understand.
Yeah, right. And it's like
He's
I
also
get that
like
you can't
he's also
portray
never
the-
had that like super hard like gangster edge to him. So
No.
you can't rap about that.
no. So yeah.
So now he just like raps about like people dissing him. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he can, and then I don't know.
He was on that one
Presidential
Venom
shit.
movie though.
That Venom song was average. I'll say it.
it's
I'll say
very
it.
bad. I don't like it.
That's a
What?
Have you heard this song, the Venom song?
No.
Venom.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Venom.
I, as an old man, I thought that was quite catchy, actually.
Classic. Buddy. Did you know what?
To
though?
trash
reassess
music.
Danny's music taste. Yeah.
So
It's not on
you-
any playlist, but if it comes on, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so I asked you, Danny,
Club banger.
like a few weeks ago, what your top 5 rappers were.
Do you know the most important part about this whole question is though? Kang was upset you hadn't asked him.
I know. That's where I'm leading with this, right? So I listened to the podcast where you mentioned that I'd asked you.
Yeah.
And then you were like,
Oh,
Tom's
we
never
talked about that on the podcast?
Yeah, you did.
I
Yeah,
have no scope of what is a private conversation and a public conversation.
No, it's fine. I don't care. But the point was that Kang was obviously, he was like, Tom never asked me that. What the fuck? And I was like, oh, I heard it. And I was like, damn, he's right. I never asked him. I feel bad. So I'd like to ask you now, Kang, what are your top 5?
Serious.
Right. Dude,
You know what's funny?
Cocoa Pop's up there.
You know what's funny?
No, but
I
what are your top
forgot my
5
list all of a sudden.
That's fine. You can think
All
of
right.
it.
All right.
We got time.
All right,
Hold on.
obviously, like this is in no order, right? Top 5 no order. Like Kanye West for one, obviously inspired the entire 2000s like sound of scape of music, like undeniable. Like wrote a lot of songs, produced a lot of music as well. Like his influence is far-reaching.
Totally fair. Absolutely valid shout.
And then like another like big influential like hip hop artist for me, probably going that 2000s style of music was like Jay-Z. I was between the whole like Jay-Z and Nas thing. I think where I was growing up, a lot more of us kids listened to Jay-Z. A lot more like the New York style, like music that he was creating was a lot more like catchy and flow. He needed a lot more features that were like really catchy.
Yeah,
Well,
the
Nas, like
reach was very
example,
far, yeah.
was it the entirety of like Illmatic? It was just Nas. Like I think young me probably didn't appreciate that as much because I was just looking for catchy beats.
So what's your favorite Jay-Z album?
For me, it's hard not to say the Blueprint 3 because it's so influential to like it came out in like 2008, 2010-ish era.
Yeah.
And I was bumping that a lot, right?
See the original. What was that one he dropped in '96? It was like his first album.
The
Reasonable Doubt?
Yeah, Reasonable Doubt. Oh, crazy album.
That's my
amazing.
dude. Between that,
But
and
also,
Blueprint,
speaking about
so
how
good.
he had features, right? He had like Mary J. Blige and a bunch of other people on, just really kind of catching on to that sound. And then for me, I'm thinking back like more influence. Like we have like stuff like Mac Miller, right? Really
Okay.
influenced that like more newer gen. He didn't have a very long career, but a lot of his sounds are like.
Oh, is that okay?
I think he had died of a broken heart and maybe a lot of drugs. So,
It's going around. It happens.
but he like Kurt Cobain himself.
Oh, did he
kind of.
really?
He did not shoot himself in the head, did he?
No, he didn't click like himself, but he went out.
Didn't paint the roof, right? No, but he was
Yeah.
loaded up.
He didn't bite the barrel.
His
Painted
autopsy
to
was
porcelain.
nuts from memory.
Yeah. So Mac Miller had a lot of like kind of that sad style of music.
Yeah, for sure.
That kind of like influenced like really like production beats. But to be fair, though, it's funny because my favorite album of his is the one where after when he died. So I don't know what that says.
What is that? It's like a
Like a posthumous album.
like they just put all these like the things he'd sung together.
I can't remember. Oh fuck! This is terrible. I'm like listening to like my favorite hip hop artist, and I just can't remember the name of the album right now.
No, but like
That's the average consumer though. Like
Yeah.
most people know the people they like, but they can't remember like 3 of their songs. That's fine.
yeah.
Also, I can't listen to. There's one of the albums I really like called Macadelic that I can't listen to, like in any of my playlists, because like every now and again the song would just end with like erotic moaning.
Oh, that's that one with
Kendrick as well. Yeah, the last like
That
30
song's
seconds,
incredible,
is
though.
amazing fucking song.
Incredible
I
song.
cannot put on any of my playlists.
Just at the end step.
So pre
having an
Spotify,
orgy.
when you used to like have to create your things on like iTunes or like on even like MP3s, because each was an edited file, you could just edit that shit out.
You just clip it.
Yeah, and it was actually I do miss that because I have a lot of like a lot of like early '90s like hip hop and especially a lot of metal music as well, and they're direct rips from like the albums at the time. There's not like maybe a radio edit that's available for it, so you would have the same thing. Like there might be a an interlude like attached to it, so you'll have like a 3-4 minute song, but then you have a 2-minute interlude of just two guys talking to each other, and you're like it takes you out of the flow of a playlist, right? And I do like the ability to clip those away. And there's like some classic songs that I like that were like 9 minutes long, but they weren't really 9 minutes. So you could just edit that into 2 separate songs.
Well, this song needs a radio edit.
Well, this is Fight the Feeling. Is that the
Fight
name?
the Feeling, that song with
That's
Kendrick
the-
Lamar.
yeah,
Also
yeah.
one more feature, I can't remember. Great tune. Just like,
What's a bunch of porn stars at the end? That's the feature.
yeah, I know, it is.
It's gotta be. I don't know if it actually is.
It's boning on
like-
radio?
It's just a straight up orgy.
So Macadelic
weird.
was he was a horny guy. He was like, once he got famous, he was like, I'm just going on orgies all the time.
Bricked off.
I'm just going for it.
So he's
man.
Diddy's best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
maybe.
There's like, are we allowed to like Jay-Z now? Or is he Diddy'd out?
I think he's the next online.
He's probably on the way to
Or
being cancelled.
My hit candidate is that it's either between Jay-Z or Oprah that's getting exposed next.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hit Oprah the other way.
I
was
reckon Oprah's on some
you know
shit,
what?
dude.
She's
I reckon
never
she-
been punished for anything.
No.
She's like America's sweetheart. Or
Have you
whatever.
seen that
Yes,
thing where like
she
got
definitely has some
de-
skeletons
She's
in
got
the
some
closet.
skeletons in the closet.
You seen that thing with like Star Island where they all live and there's like Diddy's house and then around the corner is Oprah's house, but then like in a triangle of there, it's like only a short distance to like the docks, like where the shipping containers come in, and it's like Oprah's house has a beeline to the docks so they can like import and export. I guess like people
what that
nefarious
mean?
things.
Oh no, you know, whatever. Why is it people with islands? You know, you got your own island, you make your own rules.
Let me ask you this:
So, yeah.
Would you own an island if you could afford one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's
It
the
doesn't mean I'm going to be like.
it's-
So it's like I can like Kane
Just
all the way up
that's
to
it.
Ireland, and then I've got to be careful. Of
Well,
how
I
much
know. Actually, you
baby
know what? No,
calories
you know
got
I
from
wouldn't because on my own island it'd be boring as fuck. That's why they always just decided like import in like children. That's why.
Is that
No,
how you
if
make it?
I was
Wait,
rich enough to afford an island, I'd just rather be living in like Ibiza. I would just be living in some like resort place.
Yeah, I guess there's plenty
forever.
enough islands
fair.
where there's other stuff good to go to.
Give me like
right?
Monte
Yeah,
Carlo.
yeah.
Just give me like the penthouse in Monte Carlo somewhere and just hang out there for the rest of my life.
What's your the least Diddy thing you would do on your own island?
Least
Least
anything
Least
Diddy
Diddy thing, yeah.
like chess.
No, like what would you want to do that's really fun, but like is not creepy as fuck?
Yeah, Magic the Gathering 7-point high.
Like, are you gonna
yeah,
have like a fucking full go kart course or like
I'd have a
like F1s or some shit?
nah. Or
Like a place for
I'd
festivals?
I'd do some. I'd just have like just if I want a bonfire, I'm just gonna have a bonfire anywhere on that
big old
island.
bonfire
I'm just gonna have
house.
like piles of fucking deadwood just flying around, and just if I
Cool.
want to just be like
Tom's
hey,
Island, Deadwood Island.
your
Deadwood
goes on
Island. It's
fire.
naming itself. Look at this. It's dude.
You know, you live in Australia. We just have fires
just
all the
do
time.
that?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sometimes
but I
they
can't
start when
light
you don't want
them.
them to start.
I can
They're
light
just
them.
around.
That's a crime apparently.
You just have an entire like mansion. You call it Wonderland, and you bring in kids to like have sleep parties with you. Sorry, that's Michael Jackson.
What a, so anyway, what are your remaining 2 top 5 rappers?
How to jocks our own podcast.
Definitely like
Hell yeah, dude, we're crushing it.
let's go. The recently I've been listening to a lot of like shout out to like Joey Badass. I think consistently just been really good beats. He really shot into my radar. Not 1999 is probably my favorite album of his.
That you recommend that to me, and it was actually such a good listen.
It's
Like,
so good.
It's like stepping back into like the solid like 95s.
It
like
feels
the
really
timing.
like street style, like they're coming up, and it feels like something that you'll find up and coming kids sing about.
It's
the
like
samples.
95 till infinity, right? 95 till infinity.
Yeah.
Dude.
1999 came out.
Classic.
It came out in like 2010, 2013, something like that.
just the music samples and the backing tracks and the noises and stuff. Like, oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
A bunch of features from other street kids that he kind of grew up with.
Well, his whole team, Pro Era,
Yeah.
that's just
Just good.
like a gang
Rest
of
in
people
peace,
he grew
Capital
up with.
Steez.
And there's, dude, rip Cap Steez. Anyway, yeah, that's like his whole people that he just grew up with, and like half of them are on production, half of them are rappers. The other one is CJ Fleisch. Listen to his album that he
I have to check it out for
dropped.
sure. I like that. I like that crew a lot.
Yeah.
and then I think what really what came to my radar was Black Klansman, Black KKK Klansman. He did an album for the movie, I believe.
Did he really?
Yeah, but he fucking knocked it out of the ballpark, and it's just a bunch of bangers, right? Like Devastation and all that stuff.
Never even heard of it.
Oh,
before.
Devastation's a good track.
That's a good track. Yeah, just check out that album. Another Joey Badass album came in my radar, and
Is
that's
it
when
before the money? Before the $. It spells
No, it
badass.
was after. It was after.
All right.
It's very
No,
clever.
it's after.
Okay.
Yeah. And I checked out the album and I was like, yeah, I like his stuff a lot. Went back and listened to it. And then, just consistently, like, I think my most listened to album of like 2022 was he released an album called 2000, which is his sequel album to 1999. Also just really good listen as well. It's going to be more of a contemporary thing. So I don't know if it's up your alley as much. Danny.
Yeah.
But still kind of got its really strong like rhymes and lyricism. 2000 was a good album.
Yeah.
So Joey Badass, another good one for me.
That's solid.
Yeah. And then like I need my fifth right now, right? Now
Before you segue into your fifth, have you heard of Like Water?
like water.
Yeah. It's Joey with capital.
It's kind of
C's
insulting
and
if you don't say Tom's your fifth favorite rapper, right?
Yeah, Luminary.
He's
Shout out number 5, Luminary.
stuff.
Yeah.
Wrong. What's your fifth?
Now it gets really hard because now, like in terms of influence, it's hard because it's hard to say like, do I like their music or is it like influential to my music taste?
Doesn't matter.
So
be
like in
both.
terms of like influential, it would be things like XXX Tentacion was like for some reason just like I listen to a lot of him, but also like Tyler the Creator is like so influential in my current like palette as well. Was it Tupac? Massive influence as well when I was a kid because all us kids were like, yeah, Tupac, dude.
Yeah, it's
I remember
true.
being like 10 years old and listening to Tupac.
not my thing either, but I get
I
it.
was not a Tupac head. I just like in the Biggie and Tupac war. I was like, yeah,
I get
Nas.
it. No, I
don't really care about
Well, I said
either
my
of them,
part about
sorry.
Nas already, right? Because I
Yeah,
now that I'm older, I really appreciate what Nas was. But
Yeah,
same thing
that's
as a
fair.
kid. Between like Biggie and Tupac, when I was a kid, it was like Biggie was more lyricism, more funky beats, right? But Tupac had like the West Coast style of flow and it was like really catchy, and especially like GDA San Andreas, West Coast style thing going on, that LA lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be influenced.
Not for sure.
But that being said, though, I look at that like West Coast influence in hip hop nowadays, and I'm like, that is just so trash.
yeah,
The current like music coming out of like LA, the West Coast style of beats, the Compton style of beats.
Well, it's all like young guys with tattoos all over their faces. It's not my scene at all.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
also
Kendrick.
Kendrick, I was going to mention that just then. Like, and also like a strong contender for number 5, Kendrick Lamar. My probably like if I was going to say top 3 songs of all time, like my favorite song of all time is I just drew a mental blank. I can't remember it all of a sudden.
Which album's it off? Good Kid.
Good Kid, Mad City with Mary J. Blige. Fuck, what is it?
I know the one you mean. I'm gonna look this up. I'll look it up for you.
Now or Never.
Now or never.
Now or Never. Yeah, it's one of my
dude,
favorite songs of all time.
Dude, fuck banger, bro.
So it's hard for me not to be like Kendrick Lamar, right? I still feel like he's super consistent to this day. And Now or Never is just, oh my God, what a good tune, right?
So Tom, you are a white guy in Australia rapping.
Prove it.
Are you a cursor or 360 guy?
After that battle, dude, I'm like it's tough. I don't really care.
Dude,
for
I'm
Cursor.
out of the loop. I'm not in the Australian hip hop scene.
You don't know about this battle?
I don't know the Australian hip hop scene.
Oh my
It's like
God,
it was like the
dude.
quintessential like Aussie hip hop like showdown.
This
between
is
two
the
guys.
ultimate Oz rap battle.
All right.
It's Cursor versus 360. It was 2012.
I thought you were talking about like
2014,
Xbox
2012?
360 versus PC.
Hey, that's
No,
funny as hell.
Cursor was like the classic train rat, like pink polos, dressed like Kanye's like college
college
dropout.
dropout,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I'll
it's
roll
like,
you for
but
your
it was like
Entays,
yeah, it was like
all that shit.
basketball shorts, TNs.
Ralph Lauren polos. Or no, what's that other?
I think that's right.
No. There's that like
Norska?
sailing brand.
Yeah, Norsk.
Nautica.
Nautica, yeah.
All that Nike dry fit hats. all
It was
that
like the
sort of stuff. That's him.
the precursor to what do we call them now? Eshays.
Eshays, yeah,
it was like
there
the,
was Eshays.
well, you know, when I was a kid,
So
we'd call them like train
thing
rats.
is like,
Graffers. That's what I know.
so it's Australian hip hop. What ethnicity was he? Because it's always so
Cursor's
hard. to
Aussie.
say. Yeah, Aussie.
He's not like
because you know when you have we talk about like
I
think they're
hip hop
both
scenes of
very
Australian,
white.
They're
You
very
have
white,
like
yeah.
Aboriginal kids, you have Kiwi kids, you have like Aussies, you have
No,
like
no,
British
no,
style kids.
Yeah, they're white Aussies.
Gotcha.
But that battle was like iconic and spoke about for years after. I mean, we're still talking about it now.
Yeah.
Right? So after that battle, I grew an appreciation for both of them. Still didn't check out either of their music, right? Because I just didn't give a shit about
Yeah.
Australian rap at that point. I was
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
so focused on
You
UK.
and
I was
a lot
listening
of
to grime. Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Do you like Chillin' It? Have you seen any of his stuff?
Chilling at school. You heard of Trem?
No.
Trem one, dude. Old school boom bap rapper from Melbourne, and he's sick. He's like
I will
40
check
now.
it out,
He's a
but-
part of a group called I think he's part of Kings Connected.
Oh, I've heard them. Yeah.
Yeah. So he works with them and dude, sick. I'll send you some links.
Because like in Australia, there's like Hilltop Hoods, which is like
that's the one
they've
that
got like
breaked out.
95% of the coverage.
Yeah.
And then it's a few other guys.
Bliss and Esso.
Yeah,
Right.
he's American, isn't he? Right?
Is it two of them?
But he's from here.
Bliss
yeah,
is
Bliss,
one.
Bliss and Esso is 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
Bliss is from
one of them is America, and then from here. But they both live here.
Yeah.
But like
Dude, my knowledge of Australian artists is like Guy Sebastian.
it is also was a secluded window of like 2000 to like 2015,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. Like realistically, of
The
like
Veronicas.
when it was like mainstream popular, like 360 and who's the guy who had the festival song?
Pez?
Yeah, no, maybe.
Yeah, 360 and Pez.
Yeah. They got stuff on the radio and they'd be playing at music festivals, stuff like that. And now it's like you wouldn't see like other, if it's not Hilltop Hoods, they're not getting on the radio. It's like I don't know if there's anyone big enough to do that now.
No, there is. There's a few. There's, what's his name? There's this Aboriginal boy, not AB Original. I can't remember, but he like did some halftime show at the grand final or something.
Oh no shit.
I can't remember his name. He's a young boy.
Like proper local talent.
Yeah, and he's hard Aboriginal and he really reps for it.
I like Dan Sultan. He's Indigenous and he does, but he's more of like it was like a country hip hop infusion kind of thing.
Yeah.
That he did. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Some of the like I think a lot of the Indigenous music hip hop now is very like closer to drill, and I'm way too old to be like
Yeah.
drill.
Well, that's-
like the drill
That's
is like
the
people
UK
yelling at me.
influence coming through, right?
Yeah,
The
100%,
Australian
yeah.
scene.
Did you see that drill rapper from Queensland that had this extensive criminal history? And he kind of established himself as a drill rapper. I can't remember his name.
Oh, it's the one that's getting deported.
And that stabbed a guy and is now in lockup.
Oh, cool, fun guy.
It's
Yeah.
like
Took it too serious.
sick, man. Yeah, you really do live that lifestyle.
Yeah,
cool. Also, you're in prison for the rest of your life.
That's like 50 Cent's classic line was like, "You do this to get out of that."
Yeah.
Like the minute you make money, get the fuck out of the hood. Get as
doing
far
it.
away from the hood as possible.
And then you rap about it a lot.
Yeah, then you rap about it a lot. Yeah, There's like I think you told me it's like the Pusha T line. People ask like, why do you rap about anything other than selling coke? He's like, well, I'm good at rapping about selling coke.
Yeah. he made a quote where it's like, well, I'm good about rapping about selling coke. You know, you wouldn't ask Martin Scorsese not to make a gangster movie. You know what I mean?
He's also not going to be in the hood, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's doing that from his Bugatti somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, and like the cops come around, like, he's selling coke. He's like, absolutely not. I would account it.
There's nothing more there's nothing more like 21st century, like middle, like, you know, I'm just, you know, suburban, like hell yeah, where I'm just this Asian guy, you know, in my like late 20s listening to Pusha T rhyme about selling coke, and I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like,
I was listening to drill
I was
on my way
like,
to-
well, yeah, look at you go, sell coke. Whoa.
I was on my way to work as a nurse, listening to like drill rappers talk about stabbing people.
It's
And I'm
that
like,
meme of
yeah,
like the teddy bear
cool.
driving to work, being like, you know, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, some horrific music. playing in
Jerry
the
and Rick
background.
and Morty, human music.
That scene in Monsters U where have you seen Monsters U?
Nah, I watched Monsters Inc. and I refuse to watch Monsters U. Is it good?
It's worth it.
I think
It's
I
worth it. Have
remember
you seen
being
it?
good, but I don't remember the.
Any of you guys watched Toy Story 4?
No, it doesn't exist.
I forgot they made a new one.
Well,
It
I
doesn't
have the
exist.
children, so I've seen it. Yeah,
Anyway.
anyway, fine.
There's this scene in Monsters U where there's this like old lady that's a part of one of the frat pledges. It's like grandmas or mums or something, and she drops them off to this place, and then she closes the door. It's a sweet little old lady with this flowery dress on. She closes the door. Fucking black metal just starts blaring, hell muffled, and then she just sat there with her like little.
That's what I
smile on
wanna
her
be,
face.
'cause there's-
so funny.
On Instagram, there's this like Japanese grandpa. He's like, you know, in his 70s, and he just like will just go to public parks and put on some like whatever. Like he'll just put like gangster music on and just start dancing to it in the middle of
my
public
hero,
parks.
Just hanging out.
And I'm like, you know what? I hope to be that guy one day.
That's me in the future, right?
Yeah.
All right,
So
Tom,
good.
it's your turn. So, what are your top 5 country musics?
Country music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan Wallen.
What, you have a list?
can
I know
pop
like
off.
one like country singer.
but do you know more than one Morgan Wallen song?
Yeah,
Okay, good job.
yeah.
Proud of you.
And then it's Dolly Parton and
Oh.
3 other people. That's it. That's my list.
Leon Bridges?
Who?
Leon Bridges?
Who?
No, don't worry about it.
He could have said Post Malone's and Beyonce, so he's done
Post
well.
Malone?
No,
country
Post
singer
Malone's,
now.
Post Malone's a rapper. I don't care. I don't listen
Nah,
to his
he's
country
moved
stuff.
on. He's moved on.
That's a shame.
He's a country singer now.
Cancelled.
Okay.
Dude,
All right.
people will disagree with me, and that's totally fine, but I really rate
My favorite
him
part
as a
about our
rapper.
podcast is that like every few episodes we just pull out tier lists.
Yeah, we're
just, like,
not even
wait
meaning
for
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally
Well, number
fine.
one,
Number one what?
Eminem. for you, right?
For my rap,
Yeah.
top 5.
No, you don't have to order. Just like in the list of 5. Eminem's in there, right? Surely. You
Yeah,
mentioned it.
Eminem and Kendrick are both in there.
But if you get the order wrong, I will judge you.
Do you still like?
fine.
I have a lot of people that were like,
Just a bit, Josh. Come on, Dad.
I had a lot of people that were like, I'm not bumping, Kendrick's new stuff. But I actually really liked, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and some of his new stuff. I still think he's got it. I think he's trying new things, but he's still got it.
I respect that he's trying new things.
Yeah.
I'm just not as much of a fan of that experimental stuff.
Gotcha. What was your favorite album?
Good Kid.
Yeah, good pick. Mine was Section
Kid.
80. Section 80.
Section 80 is also top tier
Yeah.
record, but Good Kid, Mad City was probably like that's when I discovered
But
Kendrick.
that's also another like 2000. It came out 2010-ish when you were like in high school, probably, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the cool thing about Good Kid, Mad City is? My dad put me onto Kendrick.
Oh shit!
My dad
How old your dad?
is born in 1961, so he's 63.
63.
That can't be right.
Well, what year
There's
were you?
no way
Wait,
my
what
dad
year
is
were you born,
63.
Tom?
97.
Me too.
You're an
Same
old
age
ass
as me,
dad.
Tom.
Okay. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. So
And he listens to hip hop.
no. So cool story.
My dad can't turn the
No,
fucking TV
we were
on.
on a rabbit hole the other night.
We went down a
Yeah,
fucking rabbit
this
hole.
is crazy.
So
All right.
my dad, right, not when he was growing up, but when he was like, my age now, he managed a record shop back in the UK.
That's fucking cool, man.
That's cool as shit, right?
What city was this roughly?
It's
Is
in
the
the
goal
East
like,
Midlands.
if you ever like retired, the retirement goal would be like a chill job, like a record shop, right? That would be, like, yeah.
So he was a record shop manager.
Well, that's the whole point of the boards. Hopefully, when I retire,
just sell
it exists,
skateboards.
and I can just fucking hang out and do retired man shit, and just like play games and talk to people and stuff.
Sounds wicked. Yeah. So dad managed a record shop. As a result of that, discovered so much music. I remember coming home from school as a kid, something different would be playing every day. Yeah, 6 sound system. He was one of them people with like a wall or two of CDs and record players records and like tapes and VHS and da-da-da-da-da. And he showed me this diary once where he'd like listed every single gig he'd been to, and it was like fat. It was a fat diary.
very
It was like a journal, and he just listed everything, who was performing, where it was, when it was, the date, the time, the da-da-da-da-da. Unreal, like history and kind of like documentation, I guess.
What a good way to spend your life. Like if you look back on your life of things it's like not even like major achievements. It's like I've just really enjoyed the last 30 years of my life.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
enjoying this process,
Yeah.
I've never been a sentimental person, but I get it, right? Where it's like looking back on all the gigs and it brings up memories. That would have been sick.
Yeah.
I do.
Unreal.
Being WA, there's so many perks to being here, but like not having a regular, consistent music scene of like people coming through because we're so far out of the way is such a shame because somewhere like if he's in London or something or whatever.
Well, he was in the UK. Everywhere is 4 hours from everywhere.
Yeah, so
Right.
like being able to like just experience all of those people, just these bands like at the times where they're the most prominent is us.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Kanye just had like a big concert in China, and I was looking up ticket prices.
How much was that? I bet that was not cheap.
Yeah, it's not that bad actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, back to the story. My dad, turns out he used to make music, made some really odd stuff. I know but in the coolest way possible, right? He was like, I was trying to find it on YouTube. We couldn't find it.
No, we found a bunch of stuff though.
We found a bunch of stuff
From his band.
but it was like
What year was
Discogs
this?
listings. It
Like
wasn't
70s?
like, no, I think he started late 80s.
Okay,
So one I found was 80. It said on it. It was like
his
recorded
music-
late 85, early 86,
yeah.
which is sick. And it's just synths and dark sounds and like this really strange, eerie kind of experimental electronic music.
So what
That's dope as
Tom
fuck.
isn't capturing is that his dad was in like a band which were really into that like it's an offshoot of like their metal style thing where like they started going into like dark ambient occult sounding things. So we're talking about like
Yeah.
chants and like I want to say demonic sounding satanic things on the
it's like-
background.
It was really
Cool, man.
negatively
but it's
charged
also
energy.
like it was also like
But it was
ambient
amazing.
trance music.
Like
so
when
it's very-
D&D, when you're entering the final chamber to fight the boss, it's like
More like-
not that rhythmic.
More
It was
like-
sound.
It's
I'll
like
try and find it.
ambience and like rhythm. So it's like a lot of repetitive style ambience. It's more like the type of things that you would hear if you were walking into a chapel.
Yeah.
And people were trying to summon like, a demon.
It's like a lot of strange. Like imagine someone holding a key on a synthesizer. At some point, twisting a knob, making it slightly different.
And then your dad
doing
would
that for
be
7
whispering
minutes
in a
with-
microphone.
Yeah, my dad whispering in a microphone and some guy on a tape effects machine.
Tom, if you can hear this,
You should play it backwards and see if it says something.
Dude, that'd be cool as shit.
Oh, that would be
Dude,
cool.
That would be.
What if it unlocks like the universe? I don't know.
What if like you unlock your like secret agent code and then you're actually a sleeper agent the entire time?
But it's
Dude,
all based on knowledge from the
metal as
80s.
fuck. Yeah, I'm Austin Powers.
He just goes off to fight the people in Thailand.
Yeah. God damn. Yeah, no, so we found that.
And also the album covers for everything were like real like
Morbid.
grim, and they feel the way I describe them is like newspaper article style of like gruesome things.
So did you go back and ask your dad if he's okay? It sounds depressing.
As a mental health
was
nurse,
just probably
I don't
on
need
a,
to. Okay. All right.
honestly, he was probably just like in the 80s, just like high all the time.
Never been a druggy kind of person. No, I've asked him about it. Because I used to...
He's like, yeah, did fuckload of meth, mate.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I was fucking on it. No, I've asked him about it. He was like, yeah, I used to smoke. I used to drink. I don't anymore. Never really did much beyond that. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But he was... But the fact he's influenced me. He showed me some rap track the other day and it was like, this is amazing. He put me onto JPEG Mafia. You know
Yeah, JPEG. I love Peggy.
Dude, my dad put me onto
JPEG's
that.
newest
Unreal.
album is fucking good.
Is it?
Yeah,
See, I haven't heard
newest
it.
album. It's also got the most experience. Like normally JPEG stuff is very abrasive, and that's the point of his music. Where it's supposed to be like he has an entire album called "Scaring the Hose,"
Amazing.
where it's like the whole point of it is that like you put this on, you scare people away because like they're not used to the sound yet. It's like very unorthodox, like high energy, aggressive, high production hip hop with a lot of like angsty like rhymes.
Okay.
And then in his newest album, he decided to try out a few other things, like a little more like moody and ambient style sounds, which are really good
Cool.
as well.
Yeah.
Pretty cool for your dad, bud.
My dad's sick. He just so many strange suggestions. Found out one of my middle names is this old reggae guy. So one of my middle names is Augustus.
You have multiple middle names?
I have four middle names, bro.
Wait. How does that
bro.
work?
My mom and dad got two each, and then they agreed on Thomas.
Okay.
It's pretty fair system.
Can you?
I can tell you.
Can you tell them? Yeah, tell us.
What is your like elvish royal title? Yeah. It's like your full name.
So my full name is Thomas Augustus Dieter John Oscar surname, right? I'm not going to dox myself. Sorry, it's not happening.
I don't know. You've given out enough.
Yeah.
They're probably going to get
I
it.
also live at this address and I work at this hospital. No, so
Adita.
Dieter is a part of my dad's band's name. Oh. So he was a part of a band called Dieter Murr, M-U with the two dots over it, H, Dieter Murr. Augustus is Augustus Pablo, who's this old reggae artist who I recently discovered. 28 or 27, and I just figured out what
your names mean. Yeah.
Sick. Genius. John was for something that I can't remember, and Oscar was what my mom wanted to call me, but Thomas is my great-granddad's name, so that kind of took precedence. So, yeah.
My name in Chinese just means health.
That's good for a man with
I feel like we're missing out on like. Have we said your first name on here? We have, right?
What, Kang?
You don't want to?
Technically, it's all part of my first. I don't have a middle name. It's all part of my first.
Is it just one last name? What? How's this work?
In Chinese, you don't necessarily have middle name. You have like your name and then you have your surname.
But have we said the first bit or are we avoiding
No,
saying
we
it?
haven't said it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to continue to avoid saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's right, man. I'll throw out 5 names. I'll cover you. It's all good. You can have one of mine. That's fine.
Dude, you have spare.
Ooh, can we just like calling Kang Augustus or something like?
Oh, dude, stop.
Oh, Dieter. It'd be really confusing if people come in and Kang's name, we just call him Dieter.
When I first started rapping, everyone was like, they just found out my middle names and they were like, dude, Augustus Dieter kind of goes hard as hell.
Yeah,
for
it
a rap
does,
name.
yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, it does, but I don't want to.
Did Dieter do it?
Yeah, oh, God, stop. No, God. I hate that.
You know what? Like your dad seems like a real chill guy because his level of like him exploring all music and all genres. I bet he's got like a appreciation for so many different things.
Well, I was very much raised on know your roots. So if you like something from this era, figure out where it came from. So hip hop came from like electronic music and dance music. That came from like whatever
DJ Cool
like R&B and stuff, and all that sort
the
of
old
stuff.
DJ
right?
movements.
Yeah. In the Bronx and
That's why I like Jay Dilla a lot because like a lot of the early Jay Dilla stuff is like is that he's like trying to define what genre he's in, but like it is hip hop, but it's not hip hop at all.
But Jay Dilla is also like the other 50% of the entire 2000 soundscape.
Jay
hip hop.
Dilla is up there with one of the producers of all time.
One of the, like,
he's
top
not
3 goats.
Obviously, I mean, he was versatile.
I'll send
He
you.
had
I'll
his
send you
sound.
this YouTube playlist, which is just a compilation of Jay Dilla, just like soundscapes. It's like really nice.
Yeah. So that's what. So then I learned about jazz, right? Because obviously a lot of hip hop is jazz samples.
Yeah.
So then I learned about Bill Evans and Ella Fitzgerald and Chet Baker. And
yeah.
then you're like, Chet Baker, that sounds like Chet Faker. Oh, that's where he got his name from. And it all kind of ties together. And it was really interesting to learn all this. And that's my dad's doing. So A, learn your roots, and B, if you listen to the same thing, you're never going to learn anything, right? So he was like, try new things. You might not like them, you might love them, but you'll never know if you don't try them, which is kind of just a thing for life, but it applied really well to
It's
music.
a fantastic way to put music, because I've always told people to like, because I've always been one of the people that, you know, I would prefer variety over something that is safe. I'll always go and try new things. And you have plenty of people who are like, they're like, oh, I don't like current day music. I don't like what music is nowadays. And I'm like, you know, your music you like in your 80s and 90s will always be there. You can go back and appreciate it, but try out new things. Listen to new things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is good music out there. You have to go find it. If you never go find it, you won't know about it.
I think you're like, I definitely know from like chatting to you before, Kang, it's like we're on the same kind of path where I'll make these massive, like, you know, 300-day playlists where it's like thousands and thousands of songs. But for the most part, I'm listening to new stuff to just add to playlists that I then, like sometimes, you know, I'll use them for the store and that's what's playing here a lot of the time. But it's like, I'm just adding hundreds of songs to this thing by trying to adventure through new stuff. And you can see like, if you went through and you scroll down like the playlist, you're like, oh, this is like, the kind of the track he was on at that time, and then all of a sudden it changes into like a hip hop thing, and then into like a dance music thing, and then like country music thing. It's like you can kind of see where I was at that time, like based on what's kind of getting added to the playlist.
That's why I appreciate
music tells a story, right?
Yeah. Well, music is
Playlists tell a story.
for me. Music is just the evocation of emotion. That's what music is, right? It just is the emotion put into a medium.
Projecting it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I really appreciate because Spotify lets you now just kind of like the AI just takes over and just sends you songs now, and it's good because you can condition the AI to just send you new songs.
Yeah.
If you just keep skipping songs you listen to, eventually the AI will just be like, all right, we'll just send them.
Let's try these
knows,
things.
Yeah.
So, top 5. We hit Eminem, we hit Kendrick.
Hold on, real quick as well. You have a real good you have a like with your parents as well. You have a pretty good relationship.
Fantastic relationship.
Wow, look at that. Me and Danny, I don't know about you, but I don't talk to my dad that much.
We went through
If I had
hell and back.
if I had to mention like what my dad's life was before me, I actually probably wouldn't be able to say too much.
Wouldn't know.
Not much.
I think it's a very classic dad archetype for
Like
them not
illegal stuff?
just like
Questionably.
Just like
Oh,
me
you
and my
don't
dad
know.
don't have a lot of communication.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like a classic dad archetype is them to not have very good communication skills, and it's because from their parents they didn't have it either, right? So it
Correct.
kind of just follows down the line of them not really understanding how to communicate, and that's why my communication with my child, Lucas is 13, is very, very different. Like every time we talk to each other, he will say he loves me before we get off the phone. Like, and I try to keep that up. And it's like I want him to know. We had a conversation today because he's got suspended from school because he got in a kerfuffle with some kids playing hockey at the sports thing, right?
Did he win?
And he's like, he did, and I think that's the problem. But the thing is, like, he was really worried because he hasn't seen me today, and he thought he was going to be mad. And I'm like, Lucas, I'm never mad at you. I can be disappointed, and I can be frustrated at how you've dealt with the situation, but I'm always going to be on your side. Your side sometimes will mean that I'm going to try to explain to you why what you've done is wrong, and punish you for it. And in other times, it's going to be to support you if you feel like you've been treated unfairly or unjust.
But ultimately, he's 13.
Yeah.
He can't know everything.
This is the exact time
decision-making
you
is
learn
all
these
those.
things. Yeah, 100%. And
This is growing up.
You know, I try to explain to him is I'm never going to be mad at you because especially as you're a child, almost everything you do is just an indictment on what I've taught you.
Yeah.
So if you've done something that's horrific like this today, he feels a bit like unfairly done because this kid had hit him with a hockey stick 3 or 4 times. He'd already told the teacher this kid's hitting with a hockey stick, like instead of like hitting the ball, and it hadn't been resolved. So the next time the kid did it, Lucas
cracked
basically just fucking shoved him over.
I mean,
And,
do we blame him?
Yeah. I was like, he's a 13-year-old kid full of hormones. Like he's gonna see what it is, right?
I don't know what users were doing at 13. I was also fighting. Like, I was not doing things I should have.
But yeah, as I tried to explain to him, I was like, I'm never going to be mad at you. I just want you to understand that I'm on your side, and for as long as you can come and communicate with me, like I don't want him to get to a point where like he doesn't want to tell me something because he thinks I'm going to overreact.
He's fearful of the outcome.
And I feel like this is very much like my dad. I love my dad. He's a great man. He's a provider. And
Same thing with my dad. Like I deeply appreciate my father, and I still love my parents. but there's just not that communication.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like, if it was like it's saying with me, is like I can't really go to my dad and like tell him my like troubles because it's like, yo, I'll say something and it's like,
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's
like,
very traditional.
cool, very helpful.
Yeah. It would be like, well, that's unfortunate.
And then like depending on like your archetypes with your parents, like if I tell my mother something, she would just like cry. So it's like you can't really tell your mother something either. So it's like, that my communication with my parents, both lovely people, will do anything for us, but it doesn't really feel like a well of something you can go to like when you need help, right? And I want to make sure that for my child I'm the same way. And it feels like you managed to get that from your parents in a way, maybe.
No, well,
or is it just now?
Well, the fact
now
that you
you're
have
adult?
so many
kinda
shared
like-
experiences with your father already say a lot.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Because if I had to
it's
name like
just like-
a bunch of like real shared experiences with my father, it would be like maybe a handful.
I mean, I was a very depressed teenager. A lot of anger, a lot of misdirected violence and anger. And my dad copped majority of it.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of problems in his life, which then caused problems in my life, right? Because it was like I had to deal with the guilt of being the cause of this.
Bit of shit. Yep.
Being a dickhead. I was bad. It was really bad. He quoted some things to me like 10 years after I'd said them that had stuck with him. And it was like, that's the reason you don't sleep at night, which sucks, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of got to a point where I was like, look, I can't change what I did. You can't change who you are. I've accepted both of these things. I really want you to accept it too. I've only got one dad. I'm going to make the most of it. Let's just keep kind of...
That's real soulful.
It's real wholesome, right? So it was like, yeah, he's got one son, I've got one dad, right? And I don't want to die.
Are you the
or
only
him
child?
to- yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to die knowing...
They had Tom and they're like, that's enough.
But that was my parents too. My parents were like, this motherfucker's a handful.
Yeah. Yeah. So sorry to get pretty down on it, but yeah, it's
not at
just
all.
kind of, we went through it and then we kind of came out and we were like, you know what? This is not worth what we're going through and we may as well just like each other. And then we ended up, and then like I knew communication was always going to be a problem. So I just left I redirected all my letters and parcels to go to my dad's house. So I would have a reason to go up, see him, talk to him.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I still have, even though I've owned my own home and lived out of the house. I don't do that now, but I lived out of the house in pretty much since I was 18. I still have all my parcels and mail go there as if I live there, so that I can go home and like hang out with my mum and dad for like 5 minutes, or whatever, here and there when I need to. So.
Yeah. So I don't do that anymore because it was kind of like rocky and stuff. And no, it wasn't even that. It was like, okay, it got to a point where me and my father were comfortable being in each other's company without needing a reason for us to spend time together. Nice. So now I'll just go around kind of like take him dinner or something, like whatever, like go walk the dog with him or whatever. And yeah, it took a long time to get to that point, but we are obviously finally there and it's fucking awesome.
That comes a lot with like maturity, right? Like you grow up and you kind of understand your father's perspective from the whole thing as well.
So through my teen years, dad didn't understand my mental health issues. Mum was very understanding. She could very much differentiate that I was not my illness. My dad couldn't. He just copped it and obviously couldn't separate me from being depressed or whatever, which was hard for him because he had his own struggles, which is, a whole different other kettle of fish. Anyway, so mum understood it. She kind of got to a breaking point, but we never really like super fell out. We just drifted for a long time.
Yeah. It's two people that clearly love each other, but finding it hard to communicate.
We made it
in a
hard on
meaningful
each other. Yeah, and I made it hard. But also I was 14. So like,
your brain can't make decisions.
I couldn't make decisions. I couldn't make good decisions even if I tried. Like, it was just rough. So yeah, but now like me and my mom are rock solid. Like I live 2 minutes around the corner from her. I don't have to talk to her every day, but when we do, it's like, I enjoy it. It's fine. She's supportive of everything I'm doing in nursing and like all that sort of stuff. She's got no qualms about my hobbies or anything like that. Mom's pretty cool, dude. Mom's all right. Dad,
so where would you place
also up there
in the top 5?
Top 5 rappers?
Yeah.
Like S tier. She messaged me the other day. She was like, people at work were asking about what everyone kind of listens to. Like they were just in the break room or whatever. And someone was like, yeah, I listen to, Cold Chisel. Someone was like, yeah, I listen to AC/DC. Someone was like, yeah, I listen to like Elvis, like the classics. And mom was like, yeah, I listen to NWA. And I'm like, yo, mom reps it. That's sick. Yeah, cool as hell.
Tom's mum, big dirty.
Your grandma's going to be
family.
the exact description of what your mom's gonna be the exact description we mentioned. Like she's gonna be like in the
She's
retirement
gonna
home.
be, blasting NWA.
Yeah.
Straight out of Compton, dude. Let's go. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. So we
What
got
a
Eminem,
time, dude.
Kendrick.
Oh my God.
Do you
We're
want to
still
finish up?
doing that.
Do we want to finish up the last three before we wrap up tonight?
Yeah, we can. I got an honorable mention because he's not a rapper, but he is my favorite artist. But my other three would be.
It's hard on the spot, right? Because I had to go home and really like just sit down for a minute and think about it. So
Yeah.
because it can be like a good artist, but you have to really ask like, is it my top five?
I mean, J. Cole is, I think, just up
Super
there.
consistent.
Yeah.
I like that he's kept his like roots, and he's not trying to be a gangster. He's not trying to do this. Like you can tell that he just focuses on what like his life experiences are, and it makes it much more relatable as well. I think there's rappers and hip hop artists that I like that are. But like when they like do the gang banging stuff, it's like as a white guy from like central
suburbs.
West Australia, there's like I can relate a lot more to like an emotional message or like a growing up or a coming of age message than I can two guys rolling down the street selling heroin. You're like, sure,
And J. Cole stayed super tight with his like crew. That Dreamville crew, like he's just done a lot to bring them up. And now you have like some of them Dreamville crew starting to make and break their own, like JID, like Jid.
Yeah.
His last
JID's
album.
unreal, right?
Yeah.
On top of, so let's say J. Cole's in
Three,
there.
sure. Well, just like in the top five. Yeah.
I'm going to name me.
Luminary.
I got to write for me, right?
Yeah. 2 spots for yourself.
So, and I guess it's no particular order. I like the way I rap because I do it the way I want. That's
But it's
everything
it's
about my
significant
rapping
to
is what
yourself
I
on
want.
playlist.
It's significant to yourself. Like this means something to you.
Yeah.
Do you listen to yourself on a playlist, Tom?
Yeah, I make music for me. I did. I used to make music for me, right?
It's like when I listen to the podcast back twice.
Yeah. I don't care if someone else doesn't like it. I like it. That's why I made it. I put it out there because someone else might like it. You don't, that's fine.
So
Don't listen to it.
If I was looking on Spotify, what am I looking for?
You'd look for Luminary. That's my rap name. It
link
doesn't
it.
come up, but you can also search the song Moonlight. That was a bit of a favorite by people. And another one was Incommunicado. That was like,
Easy to spell when searching on your phone.
yeah.
You better spot it real easy. It has his face on it.
Or something. I fucked it. Yeah. Those are kind of the big ones. And then,
Nice.
Luminary. I haven't posted though in a long time because, like I say, I just haven't.
You can do some. You can do some digging up, like we did when we dug up your dad's songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your
We
research.
had to go
Learn your
through
roots.
like page to
I've
Google.
listened
Learn
to
your
every
roots.
song on your Spotify.
Oh my
It
God.
was when you told me about it a while ago, so I can't remember a lot, but
That's fine.
I'll do it again. Same as like, we talked about last week about Matt, how he found I found his podcast online.
What's it
found
called?
it.
What was it called?
Again, I don't remember right now.
It's not around anymore, supposedly.
It was called
Squirecast.
Squirecast. That's it.
Squirecast. That's
yeah.
what. Yeah, he said that too.
But I found it in the deep researches of the internet hole, and I listened to it quite a lot. It's quite good, actually.
There you go.
I believe it. Yeah. That man's knowledgeable as hell. And then last, it's probably some Australian rapper. Honestly, maybe an English rapper. I think Luna C is amazing.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a huge fan. Have you heard of him?
yeah. I probably know like maybe 2 or 3 songs.
Right. So I don't like him for his songs because he's a battle rapper. In my eyes, he's a battle rapper. That's what I know him for. I learned from him from Don't Flop.
No idea.
No idea?
I'm obviously getting mixed up with someone else then.
Okay. So he's this guy from Yorkshire, Bradford, I think it is. And he was on this, like, there's this league that was kind of big and I think it fell off. It's called Don't Flop and it was rap battles. And he was like undefeated. And some of the fucking things he says are so out of pocket and so funny. He finds new ways to insult people and it's incredible.
All right.
There's
What
like
was
a
it called again?
compilation. Luna C.
All right, I'll go
Like
check it
Luna like the moon and then C the letter. Like Luna C. Oh, genius. What a
All right,
name.
it sounds fun. Definitely worth a check out.
Oh, yeah. I'll
Fun, lively dual beats. I'm down.
dude, it's no, there's no beats. It's acapella. Oh. It's all acapella.
He's just roasting
rhyming.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just roasting people and it rhymes. It's incredible. Yeah, so he's probably up there. Not for the music, but for the just the sheer imagination and creativity for that reason.
I think it's like at the base level of some of these like what could be like passed off as like, oh, it's just a rap guy or whatever. It's like for the level of like articulate and I'm forgetting the word that you have when you have a lot of words. Vocabulary. Fuck it out.
Nailed it. Do that.
Like
dude.
the level of like vocabulary and like how quick they've got to be off the beat just to like come up with something and string it all together at the time, especially when they give us something very specific to talk about, like right then and then, like that person. And so it can be super impressive. And you're like, man, they're fast off their feet to get the stuff down.
Yeah, man.
You got to be extremely witty and you have a fast brain. I'll look at things where they come up with like, you know, when you have the videos where someone's like, hey, give me a word, and I'll start rapping it into my current rhyme.
Oh,
It's
dude,
the same as,
that's
like, quick-
so impressive.
Like where it's like quick comedy where it's
freestyling.
like they can come up with it straight away. It's like, that's impressive, because I'd still be like, still thinking of the word vocabulary.
Yeah, my buddy Nate used to do that. He used to get smash drunk and off of a few other things.
Yeah.
And you just
Do you
play a
reckon
beat.
if you let go and your brain just takes over?
I
That's when
can't do
comes
it.
out?
I've been practicing for 10 years. I can't do it. I just don't have the wiring or whatever it is. I don't have the ability.
Sometimes
He
I
will
wish I
rap.
was more creative.
Yeah, I mean, he's just you put on a beat and he just spit bars for like half an hour, just straight.
That's
No
crazy.
script, no writtens, no nothing, and he's just rapping. And it's every time it's a fresh line. Ah, dude, it's so impressive.
Have you ever had Nem rap for you?
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
He's quite good.
Is he?
But he just does it.
He's too shy to like actually like link it or talk too much about it.
Yeah.
I think. But he's actually quite good.
Do you have his?
I have some of his recordings. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
It's all right. I'll go ask him.
the
I think that's appropriate.
because of the times that we've been together, like he's shown me like some like he's done it for me. But it's like it's always like in a situation when I'm like this far away from you, so it
Right.
becomes this very intimate thing where it's like you and me just like, and you're just rapping at me. You know, it's like it's a different kind of experience, and I'm not like a self-centralized like enough human to know what to do in that instance. So I'm just like, oh,
you're just like bumping your head like, yeah. Hell yeah.
that's what I mean.
Ooh.
It's like,
How many times can you say, "Damn, that's crazy"? That's story,
crazy.
right? Like, yeah.
well, it's like, you know, when like someone's like it's the same thing. It's like telling you a story, or you're trying to react in a natural way. You're like, I'm a weird fucking person. I don't know how to act normal. So now I'm trying to think about how to think about act normal, and I'm like fucking stop listening to what you're doing.
I have a theory as well where like when you were rapping, you had an accent, right? You had that UK style.
Dude,
accent
everyone
come
says
out.
that to me. I don't hear
But
it.
also when Nem starts rapping, same thing. Has a strong accent come out.
I don't think I
His
have
is
an
more of a-
accent.
like a
Everyone
low
tells
American
me, but I
accent,
just don't
something.
hear it.
No, oh yeah.
I feel like I think so anyway.
It's a little bit like almost Ocker, you know what I mean? Almost.
You're probably true actually.
What is ochre?
Like Australian.
Yeah.
What's say
Anyway.
Australian? What's ochre?
We're using slang terms here, bro.
Oh my god! Okay.
Darty.
What does Ocker mean?
So who the fuck knows? What does Darty mean?
Dahadi?
Yeah.
Not Aboriginal, couldn't tell you.
But yeah.
My honorable mention for my list is John Bellion.
Oh yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
No.
But also not a hip hop artist, right?
He's not a hip hop artist. He's very mainstream, but he's like a pioneer of the mainstream. He's like ahead of the curve.
He's just like pop.
Is it hip hop then? What is it?
Nah, he's just like pop soul-y music.
He does do rap. He has a few rap songs on his albums. They're just not big. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
heard of them.
Yeah, I'll link you to album. But he, I found him through Logic when he was still doing mixtapes. Yeah,
I
discovered
like
John
Logic.
Bellion.
I didn't even think about that when we like naming rappers.
Logic's
I like his
okay.
stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Fell off. His mixtapes were way better than his albums, in my opinion.
He also said he fell
Nowadays,
off, though.
Logic is like the
he was in
nigger
he was
rap.
like, yeah, I got a bit shit.
Oh, you know what the other one is? Joyner Lucas. I completely forgot about Joyner.
Oh, yeah.
Joyner's up there too.
You know what? Joyner Lucas is. I had this thing where like I was like, oh, Joyner Lucas' stuff is really, really good. Has a lot to say, and then for some reason the internet doesn't like him.
Yeah, but the internet doesn't like
Yeah.
anyone that does.
But it's
well.
also the same thing as like Logic, right?
Did you do some weird shit?
Logic is like the Nickelback. No, he just like people call him.
He's just
cringy.
successful.
On the internet, people just like, he's like trying to go out and make a difference in the world, but people call him cringy because he's not making gangster beats.
He's like, hey, I wrote this song about how my friend suicided and I discovered the body and then I had to deal with that emotionally. And everyone's like, ha,
Pussy.
gay.
Yeah.
You know, like super unwarranted
a
response.
classic
Really.
24-year-old male response.
Yeah, keyboard warrior, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, John Bellion is my absolute. I flew to Melbourne to see him.
Oh yeah.
That was unreal.
yeah.
Got a VIP, did the meet and greet and stuff. And then it was COVID, so I didn't actually meet him. We all just stood like 20 feet away
just looked
whilst
at
he
him,
was on stage.
You waved,
Yeah. Did like this Q&A thing.
but you got a solid refund for that, eh?
No. Mum bought a ticket as well because she was going to come with me because she wanted a holiday in Melbourne. And then she was like, I can't go. And I was like, well, what do we do with the other ticket? And she was like, it's gone. That's it. We can't do anything. It's just
Yeah.
there. And I was like, sick. So I got double the merch. That was cool.
That's fun.
Alrighty, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
We have our top fives. We've talked about, your surgery. We rambled on a little bit as well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Warhammer, Magic.
Thank you. Yeah.
get
No
some
hobby
CO.
cast. This one is. So
Hey,
Do you think people are mad at that? Are you guys mad? Are you guys mad that we don't talk about hobby on this hobby cast?
comment below.
the
Comment below.
episodes that have the most listens are the ones where we talk the least about hobby.
Sign up to our Patreon and tell us how mad you are that we didn't talk about things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed this. This
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it, Tom. I think it's like, touching back very just briefly before you finish up about the conversation with our dads, right?
Sure.
I think this is a big thing to us as well. Is like, I think the open communication and the chatting is like, I think what a place like Northern Boards is about, right? We make good friends, we have good chats. And it's like, we might not be as men very good at talking about our feelings that are like emotionally crushing us deep down inside and destroying ourselves internally. But we are good at having a bit of a laugh. And I appreciate that about here.
Well, it's that.
Every
If
little
you don't
bit of
laugh, you'll
communication
cry, right?
goes.
Yeah.
Every little bit of communication goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I feel like as a lot of us as guys, we're like not very good at that communication thing. So
It's good.
Said
Cool.
it.
It's been fun. It's been fun that we've been able to like share this, especially
Hey,
recently
cool.
with our swathe of what's it called? Like
it's a growing community. It feels like a real growing, solid community here.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's wicked. And I'm very appreciative to be a part of it.
Also, Tom offered to play Highlander with me today and then instantly bailed.
No,
And then I had to
wrong.
get my ass handed to me by Kang
No,
3 times.
wrong.
So,
I said, do you want to play Highlander? And you went, yes. And I said, cool.
yeah,
Kang
but
wants a game.
If I say, hey, do you want some cake? You're going to assume that I'm going to give you some cake,
I
not
did
that
this in-
someone
Yeah.
else randomly in the room
You're
might
like
have
sick.
cake.
Cake
I
is
did
pretty
this in-
good. Walks away.
Do you know what though? It's a flaw of mine because I do this in Discord as well. I'm like, hey, I don't know, whoever, do you want to play this game? And they're like, oh yeah, cool. And they load straight in. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually just finishing this other game. I'll play in like 10 minutes. I don't mean to do that. I'm just like putting the idea out there. Of
So
like,
you said if
hey,
I'd waited 10 minutes, you would have played a game with me?
no, no, it's not even that. Like if you'd stayed at the table, I'd have jammed a game with you, right? But I was like, Kang wants to play Highlander. You are going through it. I'll sit out for this one. That's fine. I don't mind.
Anyway, so 2-0 to Kang. Good job.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Unexpected.
Signing out here at 1 hour and 30 minutes for the podcast. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Let us know in the comment section how do you feel about this episode. Thanks for being here, Tom.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Love you.